technology for a greener travel. The moderator for this session is Mr. Fani Penumurthy, Director KPMG, requesting the panelists and the moderator to please join us on the dais. Our esteemed panelists, Mr. Satyen Jain, CEO The Pride Hotels, Mr. Rajesh Chopra, Head Hospitality Business in Gram Micro India, Mr. Ankit Chaudhary, CEO Champions Group, Mr. Sankalp Goyal, Founder and CEO Dijubo.com, Mr. Harish Chandra, Digital Transformation Team Leader, Rhythm Hospitality. A big round of applause for the panelists for this session, please.
I should not be the villain in between the lunch and you all. So we'll try to keep it as crisp as possible. And I've requested my panelists also to be as crisp as possible. But given their vast experience and their thought processes, it is difficult to contain them while they speak. But I would definitely try to make sure that we stick on to the requisite time. Just to set the context, over the years, I would say in the last 2 decades, we have moved from the traditional hard copy tickets to now completely paperless and digital tickets and everything. Now the biometrics at almost all the airports. So that is the initial part of any traveler, where the experience has significantly changed. And in that direction, there are other areas also in some of the destinations where the tourist experience has improved. Tourist experience has moved from the traditional, I would say, tickets to the QR codes and everything, and then the traditional banners on the information of about this place and all. Now they have changed into the digital. So we have moved substantially, but there's still a lot of I would say road to cover. And to all the panelists, I would first request them to provide a broad insight on how do they actually define the smart tourism, or we would say the sustainability in their respective areas, and what roles does the technology play. And each one of you, this question is for each one of you, and this I would request you to share with a small example on how your organization is actually looking into. To start with Mr. Jain. 2 minutes, sir, please.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I think this is a very important area, and I think most hotels like us are getting into is to ensure, of course, cutting down on paper. A lot of our checklists and all have moved into the digital format. Putting smart meters, like we heard in the earlier panel, that hotels are big consumers of water and energy. So digitally monitoring everything to know when to take action if there is any leakage, I think that's important. AI-based maintenance, a lot of our reports are available. So if proper analysis is done of that, correct maintenance can also save a lot of energy, thereby making tourism more sustainable. EV chargers we are putting in most of our hotels. So I think that is our part of encouraging the ecosystem. Also, we have created in our hotel AI app, which is called Pride Genie, which captures all the SOPs and all the things. So it helps the employee. It's like a buddy to it if he wants to know anything. So we have put in a lot of eco-friendly, sustainable practices. So young kids who are joining our industry, they can learn with experience. And if they have any doubts, they can always talk to the AI, and AI can reply back. And procurement should also be local. We should stay away from getting things from far. That's more sustainable. These are a few things which we are doing in the hotels.
Mr. Chopra.
Good afternoon. Sustainability for hospitality industry means that we improve the overall efficiency and enhance guest experience. So when we look at efficiency, efficiency comes in terms of doing things smartly, means doing something, doing much more than lesser resources, where automation plays a very big role. Reducing costs, wherein the solutions around IoT, around energy saving that Mr. Jain talked about, really play a very big role. We, as Ingram Micro, we have invested heavily for hospitality industry in IoT-based solutions. Another thing that we are doing here is we are reducing the carbon footprint by effectively recycling e-waste. So we have a proposition called ITAD, which is IT asset disposition, wherein old IT assets are taken back, and Ingram, as a recycler of e-waste, recycle these assets and gives a notional value to the hotel owners. That way, probably a big contribution is done towards sustainability for the hospitality industry.
So, hi, I'm Ankit, and we come from a background of luxury tourism experiences on land, air, and water, and also from, like, we do a lot of events, right? So for us, sustainability is more than we accepting it, making our clients accept it. So educating our clients on how important sustainability is. Planning the event around it, especially nowadays, the corporate events are very much in for the whole sustainable event concept. And even weddings, like, I'll give you an example, a small thing of doing a rain dance in a wedding event, especially it's very common during haldi events and pool parties. So we try to bring the hotels and the client together, and for one of the upcoming event, we're doing that, and we're doing a rain dance event by taking the water from the pool and doing the shower back in the pool itself and making the pool as a dance floor. So that's like saving a lot of water over there, and because it's a pool party, we are avoiding everything that's thermocol, that's flex, that's plastic. We're using a lot of plants and natural flowers and everything. Again, those flowers, they go back for recycling, for color purposes and everything else. So that's our way of doing sustainable activities in events and trying to educate our clients on how to be more sustainable during events and celebrating their best of the days. Thank you.
Mr. Goyal.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sankalp, and the entire topic got me thinking, and what does sustainability mean to me rather than in general terms. And I think sustainability is more of a mindset rather than a concept. As Mr. Kota just mentioned, and I really loved the book in the topic that he was presenting, the butterfly effect, right? The gist of sustainability in my mind is the low-hanging fruits, is the acknowledgement of the fact that if we don't go sustainable, what impact it can have on us and our future generations. I think that, in my mind, is the first step towards going sustainable, the acknowledgement of the fact and building a conviction inside our own minds that we really have to do this, because we often end up talking a lot but implementing very little. I come from a business background and from a technology background, and very often we've seen that we work under a lot of constraints. Most of the times they could be cost constraints, they could be practicality constraints. But if we look at it from a practicality point of view, there are many use cases where sustainability and thinking about it in a rational manner can be a win-win, right? So along the session, I'll just try and share a few examples, but just a few key facts. When I was thinking, okay, if I have a budget hotel, a 40-room hotel, how can I be sustainable given all the constraints? So a fact is that a simple hotel can consume up to 1 lakh A4 sheets in a year, just by the way of printing of bills, GRC forms, reports, etc. And 1 lakh A4 sheets means 12 big full-blown trees going away from the earth. So, and that's not just trees, it's 10,000 gallons of water also, which is used for producing those 1 lakh sheets. So just this bit, if we become conscious about this bit, and it's a very practical one, it will not only end up saving our costs, and by the way, these 1 lakh sheets can cost anywhere up to 5,000 to 10,000, 500 to $1,000 a year for a hotel. So it becomes a win-win situation. So sustainability, in my mind, are those simple steps, practical steps that we can take in our lives, in our businesses, to go green. Thank you.
Mr. Rajesh Chopra.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harish Chandra. Sustainability for me is to respect our Mother Earth, to do something emotionally, practically, to make sure that whatever we do really helps our coming generations. Today, we all are affluent. We waste lot of time, lot of money here and there. We should ensure that we do some things using technology to make sure that we do something for a future so that we do not have issues like pollution. We save our energy. We use renewable energy sources like wind power. We avoid fossil fuel and make sure that we sustain for many years. To do this, we need to train our employees not to waste the food. We need to train our guests so that they do not ask for linen towels again and again. We make sure that we put systems in place so that energy water is reserved for future generations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So since morning, we have been listening two words, very repetitively. One is mindset. Sustainability is in the mindset. And two, sustainability is an investment, but not the cost to the businesses. And I would slightly try to say that it's not only cost, we can even reap benefits out of it. And just before this session, Mr. Vikram has been highlighting that particular point as well on how moving towards sustainability, how they have actually saved the cost. In this regard, turning towards the topic of the session on Mr. Sankalp Goel, what do you think that as a leader in the hospitality technology space, how do you think these digital tools would actually contribute to the improving the sustainability in the travel and the tourism sector?
Yeah, I think immensely. Technology is a big enabler, a big facilitator if we really have to work in this direction. And we don't really have to think about very complex systems. We don't have to go very far off and think about fancy stuff, being implemented in our properties. Just one example, right? Most of us have property management systems. So think about the property management system and compare it to a cloud-based system, right? So cloud technology consumes 88% less energy per compute than an on-premise system. So that's a huge difference, 88% less energy. So just that one step about thinking about cloud technology, migrating to that. And if we also add this to our agenda, I think the decision becomes simpler. And then we can go on and on discussing the benefits of cloud, right? So this is one way, simple way, moving to a cloud technology wherever we can. And I think the world is anyways moving towards cloud now. Second is the example of paper usage that I spoke about, right? Now in hospitality industries, we very often spoke about the benefits of touch, experience, the guests. It's all being about the guest experience, right? But think about the millennials now. And I think this has come up again and again. They really don't want a paper printout to be signed to check in into a hotel, right? And it's a very common thing. And I wonder sometimes, airlines did away with the paper printout of tickets in 2008. And if we pick up hotels now, even in 2025, 90% of the hotels would be printing a GRC form at the front office. So I wonder why we as hoteliers are so slow in moving and adopting to newer technology platforms, adopting them, because they can do just doing that right, taking that right decision can make world of a difference. So paperless check-ins is one example. Then paperless billing is another example. And it is so much of convenience, so much of cost saving, and so much more easier on the planet Earth. So I think these are two examples I would wish to give, which are practical, doable. And just to cite an example, I'm not talking theoretically. Our platforms is used by one of the largest hotel chains in the Philippines. And we implemented a self-check-in kiosk for those hotels. Each hotel is 150 keys plus, huge traffic at the front office. And with this self-check-in kiosk, they were able to reduce their paper usage by almost 50% in the first year itself. So these are some practical examples we as hoteliers, as managers, can adopt to actually go green.
Thank you, Mr. Goyal. I think adopting these kind of technologies is something which needs to be done to see how effective they are. Mr. Jain, how is the Pride Hotels integrating these smart technologies to enhance the sustainability while maintaining the guest satisfaction? Because that is very, very critical in the industry which we need to focus on.
See, overall, we have to reduce our carbon footprint. So controlling all your major fuel costs, electricity, monitoring this on real time is like putting alerts. How much can our employees track? They have to be assisted with technology. So alerts going to employees telling them there is a sudden surge on power consumption, or suddenly the sensor is telling you that the pressures have changed and maybe there is a water leakage somewhere. So these are the tools which we are trying to put up in our hotels to generally make it more environment friendly. And also, I think the trend in the tourism is going towards wellness and environment-friendly holidays. So we require not only hotels, but the entire experience of the hotel has to be environment friendly. Our airports are doing a great job becoming environment friendly. We have to hire electric cars for our tourists to be moving around. And even in our tourist spots which we are going, government also has to take some initiatives where they can have barcodes, they have virtual reality and augmented reality to give information about our sites. There can be voice activated stuff instead of giving brochures and maps. Digital maps can be introduced. Nowadays everybody has a smartphone. So a lot of these initiatives have to be taken by government and our hotels and all tourism boards together to give today's customer that experience of a holiday which is truly on a low carbon footprint.
Right. So from having these solutions to adopting by say some of the bigger players like you, Mr. Chandra, if the digital transformation has to be done at a larger scale, what do you think are those biggest challenges which the hotels actually face in implementing sustainable tech solutions?
Challenges are coming, but the only thing which is constantly change, and because now guests are responsible, they also look for hotels who are trying to make this planet green. Like, let me give you some examples. In many hotels, I've seen that once you switch on the TV, you see the logo of LG, Samsung, Philips. Now, what industry is trying to do is, they want that there should be one message about responsible tourism, how to save water, switch off the lights, switch off the taps when you do not need it. All those messages should come on first channel of our television, which is not happening because all these TV companies, they want their own publicity, and the logo of LG, Philips, Sony comes on TV first, which should be avoided. That's a challenge. And some hotel companies which are just 0.1% are able to push all these big companies that I do not want your publicity on my TV. I want a message either about my hotel, about my city, or about the different sustainable measures that I have taken to make sure that we ensure that we consume less of energy. This is the first challenge. Second is education. Education to guests is not happening. Only 0.2% hotels which are in 5-star, 7-star, 4-star category are able to convey some messages. If you go to a Paharganj hotel, you will not find a single message that if you do not change linen, you save water, drinking water for someone for 1 month. All these emotional messages are not there. Even today's traveler, they are not aware that in the WC there are 2 buttons, one is for 3 liter, one is for 6 liter, which is to be used. All these things need to be marked properly. Many hotels are trying to make sure that if there is a water leakage in the water pipe somewhere, they should use sensor. But water keeps on dripping from 500 taps in hotels. Why? So we need to come with some basic education which can be done to hoteliers so that without investment also they can sustain and they can make this beautiful planet. I believe a lot of things like using CCTV camera or using cloud-based systems like Sankalp mentioned are very good. If you have your systems on cloud, you can save on AC cost, UPS cost, backup cost, server maintenance cost, even cost of your technology. But still this education is not happening to many hotels. I will say 95% hotels are still using on-prem systems. I'm not too sure by when their mindset will change. Other thing is in the hotel rooms, the challenge is that you have got different switches. Guest does not know which is a master button. When I stay in hotels, say 3-star, 2-star, I struggle to find a marking of master button. If it is marked with red tape, I know that this is the button I have to press so that I sleep silently, which is missing. And when I have to find the switch for AC, for fan, for fire light, bedside, deck side, I have to press so many buttons to find the switch. All these things needs to be made simple in hotels. This is a major challenge, I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Mr. Chopra, what do you think that how can these small and mid-sized hotels can leverage this technology and reduce the overall impact on the environment, given
So,
these solutions are
Yeah, Mr. Fani, it's a very important question, and that is where the mass lies. That is where the benefits would come in. It has to start with educating that mass, and the organizations like FHRAI can play a big role, and we as the Ingram Micro, we keep on conducting events to really educate this hotel fraternity to say what benefit it can bring in. The acceptance has to happen from the top. And Mr. Chandra talked about educating people. So really the down the line people who have to actually implement solutions have to be taught the benefit, what is in for them, what is in for the hotel. Today the service industry is geared up to provide economic solutions. I'm not saying poor solutions, but economic optimized solutions for the small 3-tier and 2-tier hotel companies which can be adopted. So it has to be one small initiative brings success, and motivation brings more such initiatives to do it. I'll give you a very small example. If a small hotel just puts an occupancy sensor in the public areas, in the bathrooms and the laboratories and the corridors, so one occupancy sensor reduces power consumption by 3 units, and by given any rate, it is 33 rupees per day. Is the direct saving adding to the bottom line? Just using the current very small primitive building management solution, a hotel company can really optimize their power and water consumption, which happens to be the 3rd largest cost for any hotel industry. Mr. Satyan Jain talked about, can I check my water leakage? And can I check the more consumption of power in given point of time? A small technology solution can solve that problem in a big way, really adding rupees to the bottom line of the hotels. So again, I would sum up saying that there has to be education to the hotel owners, owning companies. The consultants can play a big role. The partner ecosystem like us can play a big role in educating people and taking it forward. It's all there.
Thank you. So having understood about the technology, Mr. Chaudhary, I would like to understand what is the business case for in general in investing for the green tourism, and do you think that these sustainability efforts would actually translate into better profitability or probably, multiplying their profits in this regard by taking these kind of initiatives?
So I think the first thing I would say is working towards sustainability and regenerative tourism itself is very profitable in the first place. Don't look at monetary wise, but look at on every other aspect it's 100% profitable. That should be the mindset, right? So if you just evaluate by money and not about everything else, you might have a doubt that whether it is profitable or not. But if you look at overall, it's definitely profitable. There's no doubt about it. So I mean, having said, so like event industry and the tourism, luxury tourism industry, it itself is $1 billion industry, right? And it works hand in hand with the hospitality industry. And we try to bring in a lot of technology in that aspect also. Like doing conferences, doing any of the events, the registration is all by tech and no more using of papers and everything. I'll give you a beautiful example. We did an event on one of our yachts in Dubai. It was a double tick event and they called it WhatsApp on Waves. And everybody checked in using a QR code, and there's an automated system that they have generated where you can do a check-in using a QR code. You automatically are part of that group. You know that who has checked in, who all are part of that event, and what is their profile. So as an organizer, you know that these people have arrived. As a part of the people who are there, so you know that, as part of the audience, you know that who has arrived and who you want to meet with and who you want to network around with. So it was a beautiful thing, and I think that's a beautiful way to eliminate usage of paper and everything else and bring sustainability.
Right. So moving towards the green side, and I know Mr. Chaudhary had broadly tried to hint upon the events and all, and hotels being one of the critical stakeholders in this event space. Now, what do you think, Mr. Jain, on the challenges these Indian hotels face, right, when we adopt these kind of greener initiatives and greener technologies? And how do you think these critical challenges can be overcome, not only by the larger players, but also by the smaller players as well?
I think overall hotel industry has a lot of owners have a big misconception that these are going to be very expensive, but actually all environmental friendly practices and technology use over a long term actually pays back money. So there is a lot of education that has to be done. I myself have been part of the Western India where I've been encouraging eco-friendly practices which has to be adopted by all our members. Mostly when I'm looking at any subject, I always look at the payback because I'm a chartered accountant. So first I think of profitability also. And I think most proposition, because technology cost is coming down, it easily pays for itself. Of course, sometimes when a thing is very novel, it comes at a premium. But over the long term, I think 70-80% of the solutions can pay back for itself. And I think somebody has to initiate that, and we can always do a pilot in one of our properties, do our workings, make our employees more aware about it, and automatically you see the adaptation of these technology and these practices kind of takes off from there.
Right. So, Mr. Goel, what do you think? There are, as Mr. Jain was mentioning, there are many practices that needs to be allowed. They are followed and they need to be adopted. And then, of course, education to the larger masses is also very, very critical. What do you, according to you, in the current market scenario or upcoming market scenario, what are those innovative digital solutions which are there, which can actually reduce the overall carbon footprint and in the overall travel sector?
So I think there is a wide landscape of technology solutions especially if we talk about hotels, which can transform and help the hotels go green. And one of the solutions that I mentioned was, of course, a self-check-in app, which can help you reduce the carbon footprint, the printing of papers. Then there are other solutions like guest concierge service. So, for example, you just scan a QR code inside your room. You get all the food menus of different restaurants inside the hotel. You don't have to actually print a menu and keep inside the hotel. And then the hotel technology goes as far as implementing smart controls inside the room for energy efficiency. And it also makes a lot of business sense, right? 6% of the energy cost is just the ACs inside the hotel. So that's a huge cost we are saving, we are talking about. And if by implementing the right energy smart controls, we can save even 20-30% of that, I think that's a big move. And it also renders a great user experience. So automated door locks, which are connected to a smart grid, right? These are again very highly available systems out there in the market, which help you and which are plugged directly into the PMS solutions. So these are not any futuristic things that we're talking about. They are solutions that if we go around, explore these solutions with the right mindset, which is to help become sustainable as well as save on costs and increase the guest efficiency, it becomes a full-blown package. And with the implementation of these are not very difficult either. So today's systems are very user-friendly, very easy to adopt, very easy to transform. So I think and we can go step by step implementing into these solutions. So yeah, I think that would be my take on this.
Right, thank you. So, having smart infrastructure and new digital solutions, now this would lead to one big mammoth called as data. So, Mr. Chandra, I would like to ask you that, how this kind of data can, the analytics can actually help in taking decisions further to track, improve the business performances, or probably the track the efforts on the sustainability which the companies need to take, and then probably understand the lessons which probably one organization or one chain can learn from the other chain.
So data is the new oil. Based on the data, we can take very good decisions. We have a lot of information. We lack insights. All the insights come from slicing, dicing the data in the right manner. Let me give you some example. If your occupancy is 80% last year, how much was your energy consumption, water consumption? If you want to track it with different data sources, you can today slice, dice the data and see that occupancy has reduced and why my energy cost is going up. All those things are possible if you interface your PMS with your BMS, building management systems, and today because of open API, all those things are possible. But this is not very easy for mid-market hotel chain or budget hotels. All these technologies are limited to 4-star, 5-star super deluxe hotels, but I think someone has to take some initiative to tell hoteliers, educate them that this is possible. The power of data can really help them to do a lot of analysis, to analyze in their daily sales report. There should be a column of energy consumption, diesel consumption, etc., which can really help hotels to have a 360 view of energy consumption based on the occupancy. This is the first step which is missing. Let me give one example. If a guest comes to airport and from airport, if he takes say 90 minutes to travel to hotel, do we need to switch on his AC all the time, 24 hours? Or if we know that in 5 to 10 minutes the AC switches on and the room is effective to 22 degrees centigrade, can we have a system, even if there is no interface, that the chauffeur or the valet or XYZ at the airport informs the guest that guest has moved in the hotel car. After that, we know that when to switch on his light. Based on all this data, we can ensure that our power consumption is less. So we are talking about automation, connectivity, interfaces, open APIs to ensure that we save of energy by putting some basic common sense, nothing more than that. So data is the key of success, and now technologies are available to make sure that we save on water, electricity and everything. Other than that, we have to do training. We have to tell employees that that switch on, make sure that curtains are on in a hill station when it is winter so that we save on energy. But how many employees do it? Now today we have got various automation tools, housekeeping tools, we have AI based tools which really helps to make sure that which all employees are following all these processes, which all employees needs training, but someone has to monitor it. We have to develop a capability around all those things to ensure that we leverage on data. Thank you.
Right. So, Mr. Chaudhary, with this understanding from the co-panelists, I would like you to comment upon how do you actually, what strategies should the industry adopt in balancing between the digital strategies and the eco-friendly measures to make sure that going forward you don't compromise with your profitability, you won't compromise with the environment, you won't compromise with any other issues that would come up. With one anecdote in this regard, because I should ask you this.
Yeah. So again, coming from the luxury industry, right? Being in yacht charters, air charters, there's not a lot of scope of sustainability over there in a major way how you have it in hotels. Or rather, I would say I would wait for a day when we have a electric yacht rather than a motor yacht coming in. We would love to buy that. So having said, it was a beautiful thought by our chairman, Mr. Rao, is to build a eco-friendly farm stay. It's very close to Bangalore. It's a bit over 50 acres. And what we do over there, so it's a farm stay where it's all our employees come and stay, and plus also it's open to guests. We do a lot of corporate events, day outings, all of these things. So any guest who comes into our property, we ensure they at least plant a tree over there. So it could be a tulsi, brahmi, lemongrass, any of those things. And we also actually add a little emotional connect to it. So we put a label on the pot. We ask them to give a name, like a nickname, how you give it to any of your pet. And we make them the parent of the plant. And we actually try to send the picture of the plant every month or so they have the emotional connect as well. And this is our way of giving back to the environment and doing something towards sustainability. So I think we actually do more plantation than the carbon emission done on our yachts or air charters.
Yeah. So, Mr. Chopra, one last question. I think I'm keeping a check on the time as well. Before I open the panel, now people are also becoming little bit smart and then trying to be more conscious on the type of travel which they would like to do, type of destination which they like to travel, and then of course mainly trying to look at the number called as the carbon footprint. How do they look into it? So what do you think that how the technology can help and enable the tourists as to take the responsible travel choices?
So actually, whenever we speak about sustainability, you speak about carbon footprint. First thing is go digital as much as you can, as an organization, as an individual, the whole ecosystem. I'll give you example of blockchain implementation done by one of the European country, very small country. There, when you get visa, when you take visa from their consulate in that country, immediately the airport is informed. The immigration team is informed that this visa has been taken, which is a normal business practice. Moment you land in there, you give a feedback on the airport. The hotel is informed that you are coming in and you are staying in that hotel. Well, what sort of sites you visit in? You get all digital artifacts, no papers, nothing are given to you. You take photographs, you can directly add on the share, you can upload onto your social media handle. So to really reduce footprint, the technology will play a role by more and more digitization, automation. Secondly, as all stakeholders, we have to look at the way in which we can collaborate and our systems can speak to each other to to actually create interfaces which Mr. Chandra talked about, where systems start speaking to each other, duplication effort is saved. At the end, all stakeholders in the system, they reduce the expenses, improve efficiency, and enhance guest experience.
Correct. So, lastly, one closing question for all the panelists. Now, just an insight on how do you think that the future smart tourism would look like, and what is the one line, a piece of advice which you would like to give to the your industry colleagues, that why we should integrate the technology with the sustainability initiatives, and 30 seconds for each of you.
So first thing first, maybe virtualization can play a big role, giving immersive experience to the visiting guests, so that they are able to visualize the country they are visiting, the city they are visiting, and the hotel they are going to stay. A virtual experience, augmented reality and virtual reality will play a big role. Secondly, the thrust on sustainability for energy conservation and power conservation would I foresee more players coming in, giving solutions to industry at large.
I think from hotels consume a lot of energy. I think our contribution can be how we can shift to renewable energy. Currently, if you have the rules were structured in such a way that only 1 megawatt and above could buy power, but currently the policies have been changed, and states like Maharashtra have got it down to 0.1 megawatt, which means even a 20-30 room hotel can buy captive green energy. So it makes a lot of sense because the investments can pay back within 2 to 3 years, and you can have a fixed rate of energy cost thereafter. So I think all hoteliers should look at that seriously, and that would be a big contribution to our industry in terms of being green.
Mr. Chaudhary.
So I would say that it should not just about the practice, but sustainability should be a habit. It's like how our industry is only driven by passion. So sustainability should be a part of the passion, and that's what I would say. If we can try to be as sustainable as possible, if not, try to offset in some other way. That's the piece of advice I would give. That it's not only about cribbing about, there's nothing I can do in terms of creating sustainability in my particular line of business, but you can always do something additional outside to offset the carbon emission that you're creating in your line of business.
Mr. Goyal.
So just one bit of advice to my all colleagues in the hotel and the hospitality industry. I feel it's high time now that we adopted new technologies. We became more open to technology platforms that are available. Step out of our comfort zone and embrace changes. Do some experimentation, and trust me, the experimentations and the time, energy, resources that we spend, the dividends that come out of it are far, far, far more than what you even asked for. So yeah, that's one bit of advice.
Mr. Chandra.
My fellow panelists have already echoed everything. They have mentioned everything. I'm sorry, I'll not say anything. The screen says time up. It's a time for lunch. Thank you.
So I'll just take half a minute. So, because I don't want to come in between your lunch. So the important factor, in fact, Mr. Goyal, thank you. You have highlighted that specifically. Right now we don't have any choice, right? We have to look at for the future generations as well, and of course we have to adopt the technologies, adapt, right? And then the passion which needs to come out. And then this is one thing which we need to understand. This is not the cost, it is an investment which we already do in our businesses, but it's an investment which we need to take it further. I think we can't take any questions, I guess, because the organizers are just behind me to close this session. Thank you, one and all.
Questions
for the
can be
panelists.
offline. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and I think we can give them a big round of applause for being here and for taking the tourism sector greener. I would like to invite Mr. Amarveer Singh, Executive Committee Member, FHRAI, to please come on the dais and felicitate our... so you can join for the photograph first, and then we can felicitate. Thanking our moderator, Mr. Fani, Director KPMG. Thank you so much for keeping to the time and still getting the ideas out. Mr. Satyan Jain, let's have the applause coming for 2 more minutes. Thank you. Mr. Rajesh Chopra, Mr. Ankit Chaudhary, Mr. Sankalp Goel, and Mr. Harish Chandra. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. And I'll invite everybody to please join us for lunch. For everybody, the lunch is right at the end of the hall. And requesting the speakers to join us in the Allure Hall for lunch. We shall be reconvening at 2:30 exactly. So requesting everyone to be please back by 2:30. We have some very interesting sessions and a fashion show. So let's be back at 2:30. Thank you very, very much.